Hi, I'm Merv King from the Algonquin First Nation and a proud steelworker. I'd like to acknowledge that Toronto and York Region are covered by Treaty 13. I encourage all of you to reflect on the land that you're standing on, who the traditional keepers of this land are, and what the treaty relationship is between all the people living on it. Toronto and York Region are located on the treaty lands of the Mississauga of the Credit First Nation. This territory is within and protected by the Dish with One Spoon Covenant, an agreement between the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and the Huron-Wyandot nations to peaceably share and care for the abundant resources around the Great Lakes. Today, Toronto is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we ask that you respect the lands, the waters, and the people who have come from the four directions to live and work within the territory. Thank you, and miigwech.
We're wearing a mask because safety is priority number one for our movement and for all Canadians today. It's quite something to be celebrating your birthday in the middle of a lockdown. About 150 years is something to celebrate. Please join us in this exploration of the rich history of working people in this region, how they've worked through their unions and in their communities with allies for social justice and for a better world. This is a story that bears telling time and time again, and I hope over this next year you'll enjoy and share the richness that is our common legacy. Thank you.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink.
The year 2021 marks the 150th anniversary of the Toronto and York Region Labour Council. For a century and a half, working people have organized collectively around a vision of economic and social justice. It's been a remarkable journey, and the lessons from our past provide a guide for anyone working for a more just society today and tomorrow. We are in the Dish with One Spoon territory. Our story began on the land of Indigenous communities and has been forged with those who have come from around the world as immigrants or refugees to build Canada's largest urban centre. 150 years ago, a small group of trade unionists came together to give life to an idea: the creation of a collective voice for working people in Toronto. On April 12, 1871, the Toronto Trades Assembly was founded. Within a year, the fledgling labour movement would be tested. Printers at the Globe newspaper were jailed for going on strike for a 9-hour day. 10,000 people took to the streets demanding their freedom. The call for justice echoed throughout the country, and the first Trade Unions Act was won. Each new wave of immigrants discovered that in order to have a fair share of the prosperity they helped to create, they needed collective power, a united voice to fight for dignity and a living wage. From the very beginning, our unions adopted the principle that what we desire for ourselves, we wish for all.
There are women of many descriptions. In this weird world, as everyone knows, some are living in beautiful mansions and wearing the finest of clothes. There are blue-blooded queens and princesses who have charms made of diamonds and pearls. But the only pure-hearted lady is a rebel girl. You're the bring courage, pride, joy. Standing beside the rebel boy, we have fought before, so stand some more with the industrial workers of the world. For it's great to fight for freedom with the rebel girl. Let's go and sing! You're the rebel girl, you're the rebel girl. To the working class, you're a precious girl. You bring courage, pride, joy. Standing beside the rebel boy, we have fought before, so stand some more with the industrial workers of the world. For it's great to fight for freedom with the rebel girl. Last time. For it's great to fight for freedom with the rebel girl.
In the early decades, the Labour Council built campaigns for better working conditions and vital public services. We were one of the first advocates for equal wages for women. There was also a sweeping program for public ownership of transit, electricity, and the fire brigade. The Labour Council lobbied for public health measures, unemployment relief, and education for all. Unions helped elect candidates to school boards and city council, and in 1919, a referendum was won to create the Toronto Transit Commission.
So take this hammer, carry it to the captain. Take this hammer, carry it to the captain. Take this hammer, carry it to the captain. You can tell him I'm gone. Oh, you can tell him I'm gone. Oh, you can tell him I'm gone. Please tell him I'm gone. Please tell him please tell him I am gone. You can tell him I am
During the Great Depression, social improvement was the constant focus of campaigns. But women's rights were still denied, while in every aspect of society, systemic racism and bigotry were deeply ingrained. After the Second World War, the Toronto Joint Labour Committee for Human Rights was formed. It led a relentless campaign against racist practices by employers, landlords, and businesses. Across the country, unions fought to turn workplace benefits like health plans and pensions into universal social programs. In 1956, Labour Council was a founding partner of the United Way.
Come writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's naming. For the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing.
The turbulent 60s and 70s saw the rise of health and safety activism and a women's movement for equality. Workers organized in new sectors, and solidarity was built across borders. The Labor Council expanded its role, building cooperative housing, training union members, and partnering in social services. There were political breakthroughs as well as setbacks. Free trade deals set the stage for massive job loss. The Ontario NDP was elected in 1990. But 5 years later, Conservatives unleashed a wholesale attack on workers' rights and public services. Unions mobilized, building alliances and a powerful resistance movement that featured a full general strike, the Metro Days of Action, in October 1996.
This is a trade union movement taking the initiative itself, making connections between other groups that are threatened by the Tories and what they're trying to do, and coming together as a popular movement. And that's the important about a trade union, to move just outside of the workplace into a broad, open movement like this. When I look at you people, I realise that there is still power in a union. There is power in a factory, power in the lands, power in the hand of the worker. But it all amounts to nothing if together we don't stand. There is power in a union. Now I long for the morning that I realise brutality and unjust laws cannot defeat us. Who'll defend the workers who cannot organise when the bosses send their lackeys out to cheat us? Money speaks for money, the devil for his own. Who comes to speak for the skin and the bone? But a comfort to the widow, a light to the child. There is power in a union. Our rights, down with the black legs, the workers unite with our brothers and our sisters, together we will stand. There is power in a union. Solidarity forever, thank you very much.
This is not a narrow labor rally. The signs you have here are about health care and education and social solidarity. We refuse to accept that when we live in a society in which corporations are making enormous profits, which corporate salaries and executive bonuses are growing to great heights, stock markets are breaking through new barriers, we refuse to accept that we can no longer afford good quality public services, good universal health care, good child care, good public education.
The 21st century continues to bring many challenges to working people. Governments have embraced austerity. Employers have imposed two-tier wages, and workers have endured tough strikes or lockouts. The new economy is expanding precarious work, and there is a vital need to challenge systemic racism in our society.
It's time to go to work. Put that work in.
For our chaplain, Mr. Tom Morello. It's for the wobblies and the workers, what's up, hello. Let's have a dialogue about private sector pirate laws. The right to work for less has got us in a fight for jobs. We sign a union card with pride because we're going haywire. This is the Haymarket riot mob. Flipping burgers with a bachelor's degree. Serve it to you on my master's, what's the matter to me? Call me a millennial. Facebook status, Instagram addict, PlayStation, Xbox having. You tell me get a job, okay, where's the job? You got some nerve, sir, some wherewithal. White thick graffiti kids is trying to mark the spot. You don't think we'd rather have a pension and a parking spot? You don't understand, you must be in the dark a lot. I can't even get an interview at Target, dog. You the people, stand up. We the people, put your hands up. Unless you in handcuffs, I wanna see you amped up. We the people, keep them hands up. You the people, stand up. We the people, put your hands up. Unless you in handcuffs, I wanna see you amped up. We the people, keep them hands up. You work at Mickey D's, what's it like there? You work at Starbucks, how's the child care? Is she babysat? Where your wages at? Rent, food, utilities, are you making that? Does your hard work seem to have an odd worth? Do your arms hurt? Damn. Does your car work? Do you ride the train across the whole city map? Spend the first 2 hours making that back? Now, how much are you worth as a whole? Does $11 an hour seem a little bit low? I mean, did you even know? Did you ever think if we all walked out, the store's closing in a blink? If we all called in sick, who would stock the shelves? If the bosses took over, would they do it just as well? Does the clothing sell itself, putting dollars in their pockets? No. Does the cash register the profits? Oh, you the people, stand up. We the people, put your hands up. Unless you in handcuffs, I wanna see you amped up. We the people, keep them hands up. You the people, stand up. We the people, put your hands up. Unless you in handcuffs, I wanna see you amped up. We the people, keep them hands up. I rep the union like I'm uniform. If they had one, then I'd be in the uniform. That's what I'm at your college pushing units for. Utilizing student minds, what I went to uni for. They say a good job ain't what it used to be. A fair living wage ain't ready for its eulogy. Time to unify, wouldn't you agree? Measure the units of the unions by the unity of you and me. We got a dictionary in the area. They say I'm useless, but it sounds utilitarian. They're telling me I'm smart, but my union isn't? Kiss my you-know-what, there's a euphemism. Trade unionism, and you can help me. You can't turn me to a robot, but I'm user-friendly. Time to unify, wouldn't you agree? Measure the units of the unions by the unity of you and me. Bang!
The Labour Council works with community allies on many issues, from stopping privatization, to raising the minimum wage, to demanding good jobs for all. Unions have been deeply involved in struggles for public services and for an education system that gives every student what they need to succeed. To address the climate emergency, Labour is calling for a just transition to a low-carbon future.
Labour Council, we thank you for 150 years of service to the community.
Social Planning Toronto is stronger through our partnership with the Labour Council, working together on issues of equity, workers' rights, decent work, and good green jobs.
The Labour Council was there with us as we fought Doug Ford's undemocratic slashing of our city's wards, and we fought together.
It was Labour activists that sat at the table when Urban Alliance on Race Relations was born.
Hundreds of people are going to be hired as a result of community benefits, as a result of your leadership and your ability to stand with community.
We're going to keep fighting together for a better city for working people, because we can build power and win, and we're going to keep doing that.
Community Labour. Happy birthday, Toronto York Region Labour Council.
Deep in the city, there is a town, and this was a village. The streets you walk down, there is your backyard and your neighborhood friends. Sounds from the schoolyard, rising the wind. Oh, it's a funny, yeah, how it all gets lost.
Today, the Labour Council represents over 220,000 union members in every sector of the economy. Working people in Toronto and York Region have come a long way since 1871. The gains we have won through collective bargaining and political campaigns could hardly have been dreamed by those who started 150 years ago. Together, we did transform society and lift up the quality of life of all Canadians. But what about the world of work today? Will there be decent jobs with dignity and fair wages? Will children be able to breathe clean air and live in harmony with their neighbors? If we look to the legacy of those who came before us, their wisdom and their courage, we find the answers. Together, we can find collective voice and fight for a better world. And as we continue this journey together, we will build the power of people to win social, economic, climate, and racial justice for generations to come.
Here is the place for us to sail. Memories of your walk into time. Please let us show you the way. And let us sing today. Now is the time for us to be free.
Throughout these decades, unions have worked with amazing allies in the community, people who've stood with us for social justice and racial justice, economic justice. Those allies that you're going to hear from are people who stood with us year after year in common cause, looking for social justice, for a fairness and a better world.
Hi, it's Gord Perks, City Councillor for Parkdale High Park, Ward 4. I'm just here to offer congratulations to the Labour Council on 150 years of struggles for social justice, workers' rights, and a more inclusive society. We need you now more than ever, and I look forward to working with you as we strive together to make Toronto a great place to live for everyone.
Hello, my name is Anna Bailao. I'm City Councillor for Davenport, Ward 9, and Deputy Mayor. I want to congratulate and thank the Toronto and York Region Labour Council for 150 years of standing up for workers' rights, fighting for safer working conditions, and for better and more livable wages and benefits for working families in our city.
Hello, my name is Anthony Perutz. I'm City of Toronto Councillor for Humber River Black Creek. Congratulations to the Toronto and Region Labour Council on 150 years of good work on behalf of workers, not only here in the City of Toronto, but right across this great country of ours. It always fights the good fights. Congratulations on 150 great years.
Mike Layton here, the City Councillor for Ward 11, University Rosedale. I'd like to wish the Toronto and York Region Labour Council a happy 150th anniversary, and thank you very much for all your hard work to ensure that issues that matter to working people are brought forward to city councils across the region. Thank you.
For 150 years, you've been transforming the lives of working people. For 150 years, you've been creating more caring communities. And for 150 years, you've been trying to build a more caring world on behalf of working people. I want to congratulate all the activists and leaders and affiliates and have a great celebration.
In 2008, at the beginning of the financial crisis, the Labour Council and numerous racial and social justice groups came together to form the coalition to fight for dignity and good jobs for all our workers. I congratulate everybody at the Labour Council on 150 years of great work and service to the community.
The Labour Council stands up for high quality public services and the interests of working class people in our city. In 2018, when the Liberal and then the Conservative provincial governments said that they were going to take over Toronto's subway system and open the door to privatization, the Labour Council helped keep transit public by mobilizing Labour activists and locals. We reached tens of thousands of people in our city about the dangers of privatization.
Over the years, it's been a pleasure to collaborate with the Toronto and York Region Labour Council. We've partnered on many different projects and have pursued organizing opportunities together. So thank you to the Toronto and York Region Labour Council, and specifically also the Chinese Workers Network, for being such a tremendous partner over the years. Thank you for 150 years of great work, and we look forward to collaborating with you again in the coming years.
Now is the time for us to be free. Thank you, my friend, for all you've done. There will be now a street in your name. I said, please let us show you and let us sing today. Now is the time for all to be free.
ACON is a community union of low and moderate income people, and the Labour Council has supported many of our campaigns, from landlord licensing to healthy home to the recent fight for rent relief program and to stop predatory lending. Over this 17-year history, we have fought and won many campaigns together. We look forward to working together and fighting to rebuild our economy in a way that includes low and moderate income people and provide both affordable and healthy homes for all people in Canada. When community and Labour comes together, nothing can stop us.
The Toronto Environmental Alliance and the Toronto and York Region Labour Council have a long history of collaboration. We've raised our voices to call for a just transition to a low-carbon economy with good green jobs, and during this time of COVID-19, a green and just recovery. We've collaborated on initiatives to help workers take climate action in their workplaces, in their communities, and citywide. We look forward to building a legacy centered on climate justice that shapes the next 150 years.
I think it's been really important to have Labour Council represented at your communities for public education so that we're all much more aware of equity and diversity issues, help going forward for our students that are part of our group who are seeing what Labour Council is all about, how our unions help us, how advocacy groups work, and it'll really help propel them for the future. Thank you to Labour Council for 150 fabulous years, for being part of your communities for public education, and for helping society as we go forward with so many challenges, but we know that we're stronger when we work together.
Well, hi there. It's Joe Cressy, City Councillor for Spadina Fort York and Chair of Toronto's Board of Health here. 150 years of fighting for working people, protecting working people, and in turn, building a more fair and just city. That's what you've done for 150 years. That's what we'll continue to do together for more to come. Congratulations and happy 150th. Proud to stand alongside you in solidarity.
Hello, this is Shelley Carroll from Ward 17, Don Valley North. I want to give a congratulations to the Labour Council on 150 years of representing all the affiliates. You're all more important than ever before. In fact, we need to strengthen labor organizations in the city to be a big part of recovery. People are going to need to have their rights defended in the workplace more than ever as we recover from the pandemic. And so here's to 150 more years.
I'm City Councillor Paula Fletcher, and I'm here to wish the Toronto and York Region Labour Council a big congratulations on the 150th anniversary. The Labour Council has played such a pivotal role on all big issues in the City of Toronto for the last 150 years, and I know it will continue to do so for the next 150.
Hi friends, this is Kristen Wong-Tam, Toronto's City Councillor representing Toronto Centre, Ward 13. Happy 150th year to all of you. Thank you for all that you do, building this great city and fighting for justice and, of course, good wages, decent living, excellent working conditions, and a just city. Here's to each and every single one of you. Happy 150th year anniversary.
I said, please let us show you and let us sing today. Now is the time for all to be free.
Happy anniversary, Labour Council. Together, we will continue to fight for social justice and racial equity.
Happy birthday! Thank you, Toronto and York Region Labour Council, for 150 years of protecting workers, of fighting for human rights, public services, and decent wages.
Congratulations to the Toronto and York Region Labour Council for 150 years of protecting workers and fighting for human rights.
Happy 150-year anniversary to the Toronto and York Region Labour Council.
Congratulations, Toronto and York Region Labour Council, for 150 years of protecting workers.
Congratulations, Labour Council, on 150 years of protecting workers, fighting for human rights and advancing environmental justice.
Congratulations, Toronto and York Region Labour Council, for 150 years of struggle for social justice.
I want to offer my solidarity and congratulations on 150 years.
Happy 150th anniversary, Toronto and York Region Labour Council.
The Labour Council and Education Union supported the campaign for public education and helped us to defeat the Harris Conservatives in 2003, and by doing so helped us to save Ontario's public education system. Thank you and congratulations on 150 years.
Happy 150th anniversary to the Toronto and York Region Labour Council. Wishing you strength and solidarity for 150 more years. Solidarity forever, sisters and brothers.
Thank you for calling Rocket Speed Internet. My name is Ezra. How can I help you?
Certainly, sir. Can I just take your card number, please?
You're very welcome. Thank you for calling. Have a lovely day. Oi, I saw that union guy, Ted, today. He was chatting to people in the canteen. He's looking for people to sign up, but they're asking for a monthly membership fee. He did say one thing that made sense, that we all benefit from the unions.
What are you talking about unions for? Unions belong in documentaries about the 1970s. Unions just aren't relevant for today. And anyway, what have the unions ever done for us?
Equal pay.
What?
Equal pay and equal opportunities.
Right. Equal pay, they did give us that. The right not to be sacked if you have a baby or if you become ill.
Well, that's obvious. I mean, apart from equal pay and equal opportunities, what have the unions ever done for us?
Maternity pay?
2-day weekends. The minimum wage. A living wage. And union workers tend to get paid more.
Paid more?
If you're young and get your pay negotiated by a union, you stand to get paid more than other young people.
And get more holidays.
More flexible working hours.
And you're more likely to have a permanent and full-time job. Oh, have you tried turning it off and on again?
And you know the 0 hours contract you're on? They're fighting to get rid of that too. At the moment, you have no job security whatsoever. You can't even rent a place, let alone get on the property ladder.
Well, at least your mum still does your washing for you.
Right. Okay. Well, seriously, apart from equal pay, equal opportunities, maternity pay, weekends off, more flexible working hours, and greater job security, what have the unions done for us? Now get back on the phones.
But I haven't had a break all day.
They also improve health and safety.
And provide workplace learning and skills.
And did you know union workers tend to get better sickness and pension benefits?
Do you remember a few years ago when they were trying to cut the pensions of all the nurses and the firefighters, and then the unions got involved and made sure that they got a better deal? Oh, if you need to call back, we're open 24 hours.
Speaking of benefits, that was the 100th call of the day. That makes you ring-a-ding-ding, today's top performer. That means that you get a sticker. That does mean that you are today's loser. Again.
And they fight bullying, harassment and workplace discrimination. Not to mention defending the NHS and campaigning on stuff like housing and mental health.
And they can provide legal help if you need it.
I mean, unions really do a lot, right?
Apart from equal pay, equal opportunities, maternity pay, weekends off, the minimum wage, the living wage, higher pay, more holidays, more flexible working hours, greater job security, improved health and safety, education and training, better sickness and pension benefits, protection from bullying, harassment and workplace discrimination, defending public services and legal help. What have the unions ever done for us? Is all that really worth the membership fee? Can you even afford to join a union?
Can you afford not to?
Thank you for joining us in this celebration of 150 years. We all know we have to stay safe. We all know that those decisions of people who came before us have to be applied today and tomorrow in our world. That's how we'll make it a better place for generations to come. Thank you.
Welcome
welcome to Labor150.ca, the Toronto and York Region Labour Council's 150th anniversary website. We'd like to walk you through the exciting features full of inspiring stories, activities, and resources. Welcome to our home page. As you can see, we've featured our 150th logo to the left, and to our right, you will find our highlights. Be sure to scroll through to see what's new. As we scroll down, you will find our featured videos, as well as an inspirational quote by Dr. Brownlee Lloyd Armstrong. As we continue down, we have a section highlighting some of the stories. Going into the main menu, you can continue to explore stories, who we are, resources, and timeline. On our stories page, you can scroll through the page or easily find stories by theme. Next, you can learn more about who we are by clicking on the different profiles. For example, if we click on ATU Local 113's profile, you'll get to take a deeper dive into their history and enjoy seeing an archive of photos. For fun contests, activities, videos, and more, visit the resources page. And lastly, our timeline gives us an overview of all the significant dates throughout our labor history. As you scroll through each date, you will find some that include a link to learn more, as well as you can jump to different points within the timeline by clicking the side navigation here. To get back to the home page at any point in time, scroll to the top of the page and click the Labor 150 button. The website will be updated with more features to look out for. We hope you enjoy.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. So it's away. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. So it's away. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. So it's away. So it's away. So that's the way.